Today, I will demonstrate how an inventory works at a Subway restaurant. To start off, you have to start keeping track of each item, each product that you have in your store from the day you get your delivery from your provider, from your supplier. Any product that you get, you have to keep track of it from the day you get it. And each day, at the end of each business day, you always have to count all the product that you have and all that you have sold. And you can always look at your sale reports and make sure what you sold, what you have, and everything. And so, to start off with, the day you get your delivery from your supplier, you will need to start keeping track of every single product until the next delivery day. So each day at the end of your business day, you will need to count all the items and keep track of each item every day. To make sure your inventory is efficient and accurate, you will need to also record all these in your data, or like you can always make a sheet that you can always keep track of it. You know how much you have, how much you don't. And then, but today, for this restaurant, for Subway inventory, we will focus on four products. There's cheese, bread, and meat, and chips. There's so many different kinds of chips, so basically each block Lego represents different kind of chips, different box of chips. And then we have different kinds of meat for each sandwich, and then different all kinds of cheese, and then we have two different types of bread, wheat and white. And then that's our storage room where we will keep our inventory all the time. So first we have meat, and we have plenty of different kind of meat product. We have to keep track of each one of them, and also always make sure each day at the end of the business day, always make sure to count how many boxes, total boxes, unopened boxes you have. And also, if you have any open boxes, always make sure to count how many of the meat packages you have in that box if it's open. And then also, if there is something big going around in the area where your restaurant is located, always make sure to know about it ahead of time so you can have your inventory ready for that time when it arrives, so you do not run out of any kinds of meat or anything. And always make sure to check what type of meat you go through more than the others, so you always order that one more. So let's say if we have this one right here, since these big blocks right here, they represent the meat that we would go through more. And each one of these dots on blocks represent like each box. So let's say if you go through 4 boxes of that meat right there, you would order more of that, just knowing that you need more of that. So always make sure to check which one you are going through the most. And always, you can always make sure like which meat that you're going the most by checking your sale reports at the end of the night each business day. And then next we move on to the cheese. So there are, like, you can never have a sandwich without a cheese. So, and Subway has all different kinds of cheese. So these 4 blocks represent the 4 different kind of cheese Subway has all at all time. So, and then like me, the big blocks represent the cheese that we need more than the small blocks. So, in order to make sure that we have exact amount of cheese, we always do the same thing that we do with meat at the end of each business day. We always count how much we have left. If there's open box, how much we have left in that open box. If there's closed boxes, we count how many boxes we have. And then so the next week when we place an order, we know how much is left, how much we need for the next week, and everything. And always make sure and keep a record of how many containers you have up in the front on the line, and make sure there's no no cheese is expired. Every cheese is good, up to date, and always make sure that the cheese is not expiring like in a few days. If you're ordering Monday and then cheese is expiring, some cheese is expiring Wednesday, that's not good. So always make sure to keep checking the dates. Same for the meat, always make sure to check the dates for those too. And then third, we have these chips. We have so many different kinds of chips. So every day, at the end of the day, or whenever you are refilling the racks, it depends on how many racks you have. If you have 1, 2, always, whenever you are refilling the racks, always make sure to count each chip. After you fill up the racks, each box that you have open, make sure to count how many chips are left in that. Because there are so many different types of chips that you have, always make sure to keep a record of each one of those. And then at the end of the night, always write them down. So next Monday, after a week, whenever you're placing an order, you know what chips you need, what chips you do not need, what chips you already have. And always make sure that you can always tell or actually write down the numbers on the boxes once you count the chips. Once you do that, it's so easy because it has label, tells you what kind of chips it is, and then you can just write down the number, how many chips are in there. So from Monday to for 7 days, you have to do that every day. Always count the chips at the end of each business day. And then always try to see which chips you have, which chips you go through, or which chips you sell the most. And you can tell that by the numbers that you would be writing down on the boxes. Let's say if you have 2 boxes of the top one white, and then white, let's say that's jalapeno chips, and if you have 2 of those, you will always, if you go through 2 of those, you will always know that that's selling most. And then if you only go through one of the yellow ones, let's say that's Sunkist or any Doritos or anything, and if you only go through one, so if you keep counting and keep exact count of them at the end of each business day, you will always know which one you're going through the most, and it will make it easy for you to order the right amount of chips and or the right type of chips. And then last, we have bread. So Subway has 2 different kinds of bread, wheat and white. So let's say the black blocks represent the wheat, and then white ones represent the white. And then each day at the end of the night, first you start in the morning, count how many breads you're making in the morning, and then at the end of the night, count how many you have left. So that way you know how many you went through each day. And you can actually also find out how many you went through looking at your sales report at the end of each business day. So keep a track of that, and then also count if you have any closed box up in your freezer. Always make sure to count those, and then any box that you have open, make sure to count those. So before you place an order after 7 days, you know how many you need, how many you have, and then how many if you don't need more white, more wheat. So that's how you would actually keep track of the bread too. So this is just my little presentation, Subway inventory, and that's it. Thank you.